So The Haunting of Hill House was a Netflix show back in 2019. It was a massive critical and commercial success, and it took the platform by storm, becoming one of its most watched shows that year. It won several awards and even received praise from no less than Stephen King and Quentin Tarantino. In short, it's a fantastic ghost story. Its steadily mounting anticipation is just as satisfying as its chilling payoff. Created by horror filmmaker Michael Flanagan, the man behind both Dr. Sleep, Oculus, and several others, its success led to him creating other shows for Netflix. Now, of these shows, Midnight Club is pretty bad. It's a teen horror show. It was canceled after one season. Haunting of Bly Manor was also only so-so, but Midnight Mass was excellent. That's worth a watch. So 2 years ago, it was announced by Netflix that Flanagan was developing a new miniseries based on the fall of the House of Usher and other works by Edgar Allan Poe. Now, part of that announcement was a statement that it was going to take place in modern times, updated for a modern audience. Now, I don't know about you, but those phrases raise a lot of red flags for me. When I hear updated for a modern audience, I get chills, and images of the recent Willow, Peter Pan, and Snow White come to mind. I also dread shoehorning current day politics into older shows or movies. I feel like it jams garbage down our throat in the place of actual good storytelling. So when Fall of the House of Usher was dropped on Netflix on October 12th, I was a bit skeptical. But with lack of options in the theaters, I figured I'd give it a go. So, what's up with this? Does it join Hill House and Midnight Mass as hits, or Bly Manor and Midnight Club as misses? Before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the fall of the House of Usher. So, Fall of the House of Usher. We find siblings Roderick and Madeline Usher. They've built a pharmaceutical company into an empire of wealth, privilege, and power. However, secrets come to light when the heirs to the Usher dynasty start dying, one by one, in gruesome and mysterious ways. Now, Roderick and Madeline are played by Bruce Greenwood and Mary McDonnell. The entire story is narrated by Roderick to C. Auguste Dupin, the Assistant United States Attorney who has made it his lifelong mission to bring the Ushers to justice. Now, his name comes from a character in a Poe story called Murder in the Rue Morgue. In fact, the amount of Poe references are many, and each of the 8 episodes are titled after a Poe story. As the two men sit in the dilapidated childhood home of Roderick and Madeline, we learn the story of the rise and eventual fall of the Usher Empire and the real reason why the heirs to the Usher fortune are dying off. Now, it's not a spoiler to say that all of the children are doomed. We learn that much in the first 5 minutes. The suspense comes from watching them march inevitably towards their respective gruesome fates, each manner of death inspired by one of Poe's original stories. The mystery lies, however, in who ultimately is to blame. Are these deaths truly freak accidents? Or does it have something to do with dark secrets in Roderick and Madeline's past? Perhaps related to their impoverished childhood, ransacked old home, or their improbable rise to fortune, or even a mysterious woman named Verna they met at a bar one New Year's Eve back in 1979. These secrets unfold through the series of flashbacks peppered through the 8 episodes. So, what do we have here? Do we have a hit? Do we have a miss? Does it work? Well, I'm happy to report this works really well. This is one of the best acted shows I've seen in a long time. This cast is massive. The but there are really no weak links in it. Everyone is at the top of their game, bringing their all to some truly sinister and out there characters. Now, Greenwood and McDonald are brilliant, but so are Mark Hamill, who plays Arthur Pym, the family's lawyer and fixer of problems, and Carl Limpley as Dupont. Flanagan, too, is at the top of his game here. The series is different from previous iterations of horror stories he has adapted. It's darker, it's gorier, and it's focused on characters' disturbing deaths much more than the other things he has done. This brilliantly connects the classic stories of Poe and tells this modern story filled with lust and power and pain. Now, the series occasionally stumbles when it overdoes the social commentary monologues instead of letting the story speak for itself. But overall, it's really a uniquely enjoyable tale of terror. But it's not for the faint of heart. Also, it does lag at times, does slow down to a crawl, but not often enough to derail the show. The bottom line is Fall of the House of Usher is a whirlwind of mostly unsavory characters, yet compelling thanks to the intricacies the writers and the brilliant work by Flanagan bring to it. I think it's his best show to date, and I highly recommend it. If you are a Poe fan, you will love the numerous references, callbacks, and Easter eggs. But even if you are not, or if you're not really familiar with Poe's material, you'll still find this show very enjoyable, highly entertaining, and worth your time. Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week where I will regale you with my thoughts on, well, whatever I decide. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this video with friends and enemies alike. And as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.